Hi everybody, my name is Victoria. Welcome back to my channel, and I am so excited to be back talking to you. It has been about 2 months since I filmed a video, and that was not intentional. It never is. August and September are really hard months for me as far as work. It's hard for me to even explain to people, but it's like literally I finish work and I come home and I work more, because that's just how much is on my plate, and something I hate about my job. It's something I really hate. But the beginning of the year is always like that, and it really takes away from the rest of my life, and it's just something that happens every year. It's not the first time I've disappeared from BookTube in August and September. But I feel like this fall in particular, well, August and September is what I'm calling fall, but I know it's mostly summer. This season in particular, when school started, was extra crazy just because I've also picked up some other life things that are going on. So one of those things is I've started to play with an orchestra regularly, and that has taken up like every Saturday morning for me, basically. So that's been a big time commitment, a happy time commitment, because I love playing with an orchestra on a regular basis. But it has eaten up some of my free time. And then also I have started playing piano with my church, and my church, I go to a very large church, and so that commitment is also pretty large. We have 3 services, and you have to be there. If you're serving on the worship team, on Sunday morning, you're there from like 6 a.m. 6:30 is when we start practicing in the morning, because we have an 8 a.m. service. So I'm like literally at church at 6 a.m. and then there's 3 services, so I'm not done till about 1, a little after 1. And so like that's like most of my Sunday, and then you're just exhausted. So like orchestra, church, my job, my toddler, and don't forget I'm still a mom in there too, right? And also I have some news, a life update, if you will. I am expecting. My second child is on the way, and thank you for those of you who have kind of gone on my journey with me. I shared with this channel, so it's not like a channel secret, but I suffered a miscarriage back in February. And actually I had, I don't really know if I talked about this much, but basically right after I had a second miscarriage, but it was more of like an early chemical pregnancy. Like I only made it like 5 weeks. So my pregnancy test was reading that I was pregnant, but really I never was, and there was nothing in my womb. So all that to say, now baby is doing really great. I'm about 14 weeks along, and so yeah, we are just so pleased and feeling so blessed. My morning sickness this time around has been awful, way worse than anything I had with my first child. And so that was really challenging. I literally tried to film a video. I did film a video, and like I could just tell in the video that I was miserable and feeling so sick. I think I even gagged sometimes in the middle of talking. And so I was like, I can't post this video. I spared you that. So I didn't want to gag through my sentences. So I just deleted that video. But yeah, so it's taken me some time to feel better. I still have morning sickness, unfortunately, but I'm at the tail end of it. I think it's gonna be going away soon. It's definitely gotten better, but it was real bad. It was real bad. So I just wasn't feeling like myself. So all that to say, I disappeared for a couple months. I'm trying to come back. However, because of life and more busyness on the way, expect sporadic videos. I can't really promise a schedule anymore. I was trying to do every Friday videos, but I haven't been doing that for some time. It just stopped being realistic. So if you don't mind, I still want to show up on BookTube and participate in things and jump in, let you know what I'm reading and what I finished, even if it's a sporadic update. And maybe I finished very little. So I have come back from booktube death because of Victober. It has revived me. I would like to participate in Victober, especially because it's the 10th anniversary of Victober. And so I was like, what better way to get back into reading than with some Victorian literature. So I don't even know where to start. I am gonna get into the books here. So the only book that I finished, I'll start there. The only book that I finished in the past 2 months or so was this for the read-along that I'm a co-host of, the last book in the Song of the Lioness Quartet by Tamara Pierce. And we have a whole live show discussion about it. I'll link it down below. I don't feel like I have a lot to say about this in this video because it's the last book in the series, very spoilery. I will say just my general impressions, but in the whole quartet, I enjoyed book 1 the most. I enjoyed this one second best. I enjoyed book 2 third best. I enjoyed book 3 the least. And so this one, it was, I think, a solid ending as far as like my up and down experience with this quartet. We are continuing on with Wild Magic. This is the next quartet by Tamara Pierce. So we're going in publication order. And I've had this book for a really long time, actually. I bought it for a middle grade March and then learned it actually is not so middle grade. But the cover made me think it was middle grade. It doesn't look like a middle grade cover. So this follows 13-year-old Dane. And she has always had a special connection with animals. And she is forced to leave home. And then she learns that her connection with animals is actually magic. And so I think we're going to learn about Dane and her abilities to interact and I'm assuming like talk to animals, and like her training of this magic that she has. So yeah, the live show for this is coming up really soon, in like a week and a half from when I'm filming this. I don't know when I'm going to post this, but I haven't read it yet. So I'm also not going to make it to the live show because I have my orchestra that I play with now, and we will have rehearsal on that morning. So sadly, I won't be at the live show, but I will be reading this because next we'll read Wolf Speaker, and that would be the second book. So I don't own that one yet, but I will probably get a copy and maybe read that in October also. Or the beginning of November, we'll see. But yeah, so we're going to continue on with that, with Christy Lewis from Dostoevsky in Space, and Dia from Novel Idea. We are the 3 co-hosts for that read-along. So if you want to jump in, we're starting a new quartet. It would be a good jumping in point if you would like to join us. All right. I'm also going to just mention the things that I was reading. Emphasis on was, because while I have not mentally DNF'd them, I think I may have spiritually DNF'd them. Is that a thing? It is a thing now. A spiritual DNF. One of those things is Wolf Hall. I could not get into Wolf Hall, and I've been trying, and I really think it could be a me and a timing situation where this just demanded a lot of my mental energy that I did not have. And it's got a kind of a tough writing style too. It's not something that was just like making me want to pick it up. I just wasn't wanting to pick it up. I wasn't drawn to it because I think it's challenging me, and maybe I'm just not wanting to be too challenged right now, which is very unusual for me. Usually I don't mind a challenge. I like a good reading challenge, but this one has, I've been in the slog. In the slog for sure. I got about 184 pages, and I just put it down with not really any, like, I haven't missed reading this book, you know? So I am a terrible DNFer. I don't know how to DNF books. I don't want to DNF this. I want to be a person who has finished Wolf Hall. So we'll see. That, for now, probably putting it down for a little bit, because I just have other things that I want to read. My struggle with reading The Buffalo Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones, still a struggle. Also put this down. I don't feel like I need to restart it because I'm only 90 pages in. And the thing is, I was enjoying it, but it was also hard to read. Also a very distinctive writing style and dark. And so I think I just wasn't able to wrap my head around it when I had time to read. The only one that I have been actually actively reading is Emma, but obviously not reading it very fast or very often because I started this in July for Jane Austen July. And here Emma still is. Emma is still here. Will I ever finish Emma? I don't know. I think because it's on my Kindle too, it's been easier for me to pick up, like in a little tiny bursts. So if there's anything I've really been reading, it's mostly Emma, but super slowly. I'm like 50% through, just to give you an idea. And it's sad because it's not that I wasn't enjoying Emma, it was just that I had no time. I had no time to read. So if I did read, I was also feeling sick and exhausted, and I've been falling asleep at like 8:39 p.m. So that's usually when I read. Yeah, it's been a real struggle. Reading has been a real struggle. So yeah, Emma, not finished. Not DNFing Emma. That's not my plan. But Wolf Hall, Buffalo Hunter, maybe a soft DNF for right now. Even that is hard for me to say. I'm so bad at DNFing books. Okay, but when I think about the things that I would like to read for Victober, I don't feel so bad about DNFing things. So let's get into the Victober TBR. So I would like to read, finally, I would like to read Wives and Daughters by Elizabeth Gaskell. I've put it on a few Victober TBRs throughout the years. I think the problem was it was never my priority book, and so I was always kind of bumping it for other stuff. But this year I'm like, no, this is my priority book. I'm going to use it for Kate Howe's challenge of a book that includes friendship. And this was one she put on her list of recommendations for that prompt. So I'm going to do it. It is a chunky book. It is through 650, 80, 90, maybe 700 pages or so. Oh, I gotta let Bailey in or she's gonna break the door down. I love Elizabeth Gaskell. I've read her before. I have not read this one. And it's been one of my great shames in life that I haven't read Wives and Daughters. So finally gonna do it. It is the priority Victober book. And then if I am having a fantastic reading month somehow, I'm hoping October might be better than September. It usually is, to be honest. If I'm having a great reading month and I'm feeling up for another chunky book, I would like to read Nicholas Nickleby by Charles Dickens. I was on the beginnings of a chronological Dickens read-along. I fell off the boat pretty early. I read Pickwick Papers and I read Oliver Twist, and then this is my next one. I started it on audio maybe like last year at some point, and it just didn't work for me on audio. So I would want to do this with my eyeballs as a physical read, because I just think that's how I want to enjoy Dickens. So I have Nicholas Nickleby, and that is, oh, I remember the prompt. The prompt I was going to use this for is the education prompt. I think one of the prompts is a book that deals with education in some way. And I know that Nicholas Nickleby does. So, yes. How does it though? I know that it does. Because I remember specifically like listening to it and being in a school. So I have been told that this would work by other people too. So this will be for that prompt. And the only other thing I have on the docket for Victober, because I don't even know if I will finish both of these, but I hope to. The only other thing I have is I might say the title wrong. I think it's Of Love and Life, or Love and Life, Life and Love. Don't know the order of that. It's either Love and Life or Life and Love by Charlotte Mary Yonge. And that's an author I hear much about. And I have never read. So she is a little bit more of a, not unknown, but maybe underrated female Victorian author. And she sometimes gets overshadowed by other bigger, well-known Victorian authors. And she's one I have not read. We're going to read this for Tiffany's Patreon. So I thought it was a really perfect time for me to try her out. Can't tell you a synopsis though, because I don't, actually, no, I can tell you a synopsis. I believe it's a historical fiction novel, which, is that one of the prompts? I don't remember, maybe. But I think it's also a retelling of Eros, Psyche. It's a retelling of a Greek mythology. I am butchering this. So yes, I tried. I know something about it, but not very much, as you can tell. So yeah, those three things are what I would like to read for Victober. And so I am super ready to fall in love with some classics. That is one thing I think has been missing from my reading year. I have read a lot of fantasy, not a ton of classics. I may have even read more historical fiction than I read classics, which is very strange, very unusual for me. So yeah, that is my update. My currently reading, my want to read for Victober. I'm not going to have a 10-book TBR or anything for Victober because it's just not gonna be me right now. I'm happy for those of you who have a 10-book TBR. I've been enjoying watching your 10-book TBRs and hearing about all the things that you're going to read. And I wish I was you. I wish I could do that, but I will be lucky to get through these. These are chunky, so if I get through these too, that will be a major accomplishment. And if I get through the Charlotte Mary Yonge, I will have the best Victober ever. Thank you so much for watching my video today. And it's been so fun to talk to you again. I promise to not disappear completely in October. I hope to post another few times. I feel like I have some other things, book haul from the summer that I want to post, just some general catching up to do. So I hope to be back, not in 2 months, but before then. Thank you for watching today. I'd love to know what your October reading plans are. Are you leaning into Victober? Are you leaning into spooky season? Are you just doing your own thing? Because that's beautiful too. I would love to know. All right, thank you so much for watching today, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Keep reading great books, and until next time, bye-bye.